Magic Bands are out. Mobile Magic is coming in. Stick with me as I talk about some of the ways to use those, where they're good, where Magic Mobile is failing. Or is it failing? Just wait and see. So a couple years ago, Disney announced that Magic Bands were no longer going to be free for resort guests and that they would need to be purchased, and obviously in order to squell the outcry of having to purchase yet another item to come and stay at their hotels, they launched a product called MagicMobile on the My Disney Experience app. And of course, everything is being driven to the app, and that's all fine and well if it works. So does it? This week has been an interesting. Well, first off, let me explain why I'm sitting here in the dark. I'm at Epcot and I'm waiting for the fireworks show, and I'm here just kind of waiting in a good spot and thought, hey, why not use the time? So forgive the darkness and let's just move on. So I have the My Disney Experience, and at one point I used to use the Magic Bands, as we all did. And I love the idea that it's moving to my phone, moving to my Apple Watch, that I could get in and out of the park and buy stuff, use it as my room key. I don't have to have those plastic cards anymore either. And I thought, what a great idea. But is it? My wife, for this trip, got a Magic Band, and she's like, sometimes I've heard the app goes down, and then what do? So she wanted to have caution and make sure she had the Magic Band, and I'm glad she did, because she was absolutely right. While the app didn't go down while we were here, certainly some of the usability of it did. So let me talk where it worked perfectly fine. It worked perfectly getting into the parks. I could just tap my watch where you would normally tap the Magic Band. I didn't even have to pull up the card, the mobile card that lands in your wallet. I didn't even have to open that up. I just tapped my watch and it worked perfect. That was wonderful. Never had a problem with that. But I did have problems buying things, paying at restaurants, and I had a lot of problems getting into my room. First off, when you use the Mobile Magic, they tell you that the phone alone is what opens your room key, not the watch. Well, that's a shame, because it would be so much easier to tap my watch to my door just like you would a Magic Band. So then I opened up the mobile app, the My Disney Experience, to get into my room. And there are so many different ways that they've nested unlock your door. And it should be simple, and sometimes it is when it recognizes your reservation. Now, perhaps it's because we had a split stay, but one of my reservations did not show it was active even though we had already been moved to a room, and I had absolutely no access to my room because My Disney Experience and the Mobile Magic didn't see that as an active reservation. Other times, I couldn't find it on the app, and when I did, it said, sorry, not working right now. So I had a lot of times where it didn't work at all. So that's where the Magic Band was a great backup. Diane, she could just tap the door and get in with no problem. Then we went to some restaurants, and you already saw this on our Animal Kingdom video if you watched that one, where I went to pay at the restaurant, and they didn't have the technology available to do it. Worse yet, they don't even all have the technology anymore to use the Magic Bands very well. At one point years ago, the servers would walk around with this device that would tap your Magic Band onto it at the table, and you'd pay right there. Well, now that Disney's, phasing out the Magic Bands, not all the servers are carrying them, and not all the restaurants are supporting that. So there were a couple times we used the Magic Band. They actually had to take the puck off of my wife's wrist and take the puck to the back area where they would process the credit cards. It was no longer being done at your table. And then there were times when I went to pay with the MagicMobile on my wallet, on my phone, and they said, sorry, we're not set up for that yet. This restaurant's not been given that technology. And so it's really hit or miss if it's working yet. The ease of getting into the park, the semi-ease of getting into your room, those are great, but the difficulty in purchasing, particularly at restaurants, is a real challenge, and it's a hit or miss. Now, the walk-up mobile order areas, or the walk-up counter service restaurants, they all seem to be working fine. I could bring it up on my watch, or I could bring it up on my phone and tap the card onto the screen, and almost always that worked. We had a couple issues, but I'm not sure it was the MagicMobile as much as it was, well, honestly, I don't know what it was. There were a couple times it didn't work. But you work with it just like you did your MagicBand. You type in your 4-digit PIN number to authorize that sale. So all in all, I can see where it's going, that it's going to be very useful. Is it fully baked? No. And this has been rolled out. I mean, it'd be one thing if you say, well, it's brand new, it's only been out a couple weeks or months. It's been out a couple years. They were phasing this out. Now, granted, it was during the pandemic. There was a lot of delay on using and tweaking, getting rid of all the bugs. But I would think before you got rid of MagicBands, you would make sure every restaurant on property, and it's not even like it's a third-party restaurant at Disney Springs. It was a hotel restaurant. This was the Whispering Canyons Cafe. You know, you would think that they'd all have access to use it. So, you know, it's not a big deal to pull out my credit card. The fact is that it was all linked to the credit card anyway. So I pull out the charge plate. It's not a problem. Ultimately, they got their money and I got my product or my food. But you would just think that they would have it rolled out a little bit better, more complete of an experience. And I certainly hope someday that the watch will be able to open the doors to the hotel rooms. That would be great. Okay, I'm at the Riviera Resort and I want to get into this doorway into the elevator lobby, and it says, please use MagicBand or card to enter. And of course, I don't have a MagicBand or a room card because I'm supposed to be using my mobile Magic. And here I am, unable to get into the hotel, where I have a reservation and the ability to stay. So, another fail of the use of MagicMobile. Why did they not think this thing through? I'm just flummoxed. I don't want to be overly critical. I just want to get into my room and use the technology that they claim is what they're promoting. Well, hey, thank you for watching. Perhaps it was a little bit critical at points, but you know what? You need to know what to expect when you get here. There are so many ways to pay for things at various registers and restaurants, and you know, the technology, again, they're driving you to the app. So I hope you found that useful, to beware, to have backup options available so you don't get stuck in a hall late at night, unable to get into your room or something. Just come prepared, come knowledgeable. That's the point of, you know, you coming and watching these sorts of YouTube videos. So I hope that's a useful tip to you. And if you think so, I'd appreciate it if you would like. And if you're not subscribed, would you please do so? Thank you for that. And you know what? Oh, here comes a boat making a loud horn noise. So hold on a moment. All right. Okay, thanks for watching. Be good to others. Bye-bye.